You can stand more on your own, and you say, okay, now look at, I'm really having some problems in my life, and these are what the problems are. How do I apply these principles or these ideas to this problem? That one is there a solution? We're going to say yes, there is. But the question is going to be, is that a solution that you're going to like?
Right.
Because some things can be transformed. We're going to say that clearly. A lot of things can be transformed. There are some things that maybe can't, and that transformation is not an exterior change, but is going to always be simply, you're going to have to transform your view on it and deal with this as it is. And an example I give, and I think I want to give this example, is my first job was with a fellow who was working under the table in a grocery store. He had spent, and his wife had gone through Birkenau, concentration camp Birkenau. He had spent from 1935 to 1945, he was either in military service or in combat or in hard labor, and survived, somehow managed to survive on the Eastern Front when, 90% of the German casualties were there. And then he got lucky because the Hungarians liked him and said, well, we got to kill our Jews in the morning. So if you guys want to make it over to the Russians. So he didn't get killed going over to the Russians.
Right.
Now, the Russians were taking their prisoners of war. When they would liberate a prison camp, they would take Russian prisoners of war and strap them, well, they would chain them to tanks. So they would catch bullets because they were considered traitors because they had surrendered. So you need to understand that. He said, when they would go into a village or a town, they would drink, shaving fluid just because they had alcohol. They'd look for anything.
Okay. Right.
He'd watch guys drink perfume. They look for alcohol and down it would go because that's the environment they're in. It's that
Right.
violent.
So stressful. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't expect to survive an hour from now. He survived. He survived in that environment. Now, all the positive thinking in the world was probably going to keep him alive. But all the positive thinking in the world was not going to magically pick him up out of that environment.
Right. And transport him
somewhere else.
Yeah, right.
So when we talk about transformation, very often that situation, the external world is not going to be transformed just because we want it to.
Right.
Now, in some instances it can be, in a lot of instances it can be. There's a lot of factors that are involved that needs to be made very clear. What I'm saying though is, more often than not, all that transformation has to start within ourselves. And that's what's the most important part. And if we transform ourselves sufficiently, we will be able to withstand that situation that we are within, survive that situation within, or possibly even, because most of us live in a good environment, find ourselves very happily surprised with a new environment completely.